Good morning, council members. My name is Nikolai Dressbach, and I've worked as a bartender for areas at LAX for the past 13 years. I am here today not just as an airport worker, but as a husband and a father to my 16-year-old stepson. My family depends on the wages I earn at LAX. Because my pay is directly tied to the minimum wage, any rollback or reduction would mean a direct pay cut to hardworking families like mine. Over the next several years, that decision could cost my family tens of thousands of dollars, money that goes towards rent, groceries, gas, utilities, and simply trying to survive in Los Angeles. Like so many working families, we feel inflation every single week. Food costs more, rent costs more, everything costs more. We are asking for stability and the chance to keep with the rising cost of living. Last year, airport workers were already asked to wait through delays. We were told this wage increase was coming, and we planned our lives around that promise. Families made financial decisions, believing the city would honor its commitment. So I ask you respectfully, why should hardworking airport employees be asked to sacrifice while large corporations continue to profit? Please do not balance this decision on the backs of workers and their families. Stand with the people who keep LAX running every day. Keep your word and protect the Olympic wage. Thank you.
Members of the Los Angeles City Council, if you vote yes on agenda item 16 at today's meeting, which bans sitting, lying, sleeping, and criminalizes unhoused people in the San Fernando Valley, you might as well just report to LAPD headquarters for work, and while you are there, pick up your paychecks. They have the funding, and it's where you belong anyways if you vote yes to criminalizing unhoused communities in Los Angeles. It's fucking whack that y'all are criminalizing people in a time where people behind me are begging for better wages, and you have the power to do more, and instead, you're banning people living in tents from public space. So I urge every other member who has any sense in their fucking heads to vote no on Council File 264118 S5 and reject Councilmember Imelda Padilla's proposal to create 26.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Joana Villamil, soy miembro de United Hill Local 11 y trabajo en el West en Bonaventura.
Hi, discúlpeme, ¿me puede decir su nombre otra vez?
Joana Villamil.
Joana Villamil. My name is Joana Villamil, and I work for United here, Local 11. ¿Y qué más dijo?
Soy miembro de United Hill Local 11 y trabajo en West en Bonaventura.
And I work in Winston, Bonaventura.
Cuando la industria trató de quitar este salario, los votantes de Los Ángeles dijeron no.
When they tried to take away our salary, the voters said no.
Yo ayudé a que eso pasara, defendí esta ley porque mi familia y mis compañeros lo necesitaban.
I helped because my family and my friends needed this.
El salario de $30 debería estar en vigor para los Juegos Olímpicos y ahora no llegará hasta el 2030, 2 años más.
So the $30 wage should be effective for the Olympic Games, but now it's not going to be until 2030.
Una renta que apenas puedo pagar y el poco mercado que me sustenta.
The rent that I can barely pay and the food that I can barely afford.
Estoy aquí para asegurarme de que este consejo sepa exactamente lo que la industria nos quitó. Gracias.
I'm here to let the council know exactly what the industry has taken away from us.
Harriet Elliott. Página 115. Armas ELF de frecuencia extremadamente bajo nivel para reventar los búnkeres. Son casi tan efectivos como armas cuantas.
Señoras, disculpe.
Thank you.
¿Está usted leyendo algo? No le entendí muy bien. Do you speak English or Spanish?
I'm not hearing very well, but okay, I'm moving on. Una arma LF puede penetrar en plomo o acero como no son sólidas.
A gun can penetrate with a bullet.
Como si no son sólidas en
As if
plomo.
they're not solid.
Okay. Pero afecta todo en su camino.
But it affects everything in your path.
Armas ELF normalmente se soporte en el interior de coche.
Guns LAF usually support themselves inside a car,
Y funciona como torpedos.
and they function as torpedoes.
Good morning, Councilman. My name is Joe Yila, and I work as a beauty advisor at DFS at LAX for almost 10 years. And I am here because the worker like me were counting on the race this summer and reaching $30 before Olympic. We make plans around that. Our family make plans around that. After years of rising rent, rising grocery, and rising costs and the wages increase, give us some hope that we could finally catch up a little bit. Now, because of the airline and big corporation are complaining, all of that is in question, and this is not right. LAX workers are the people who welcome travelers at Los Angeles every day. We are also workers who will help welcome the world during the Olympics. We deserve the stability, respect, and wage we can live on. So please do not lower our wage and
Here we go. Item 13, my civil rights under
You'll have
20.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment.
All items and non-agenda public comment. Once again, item 13, my civil rights under 26 EMCM 01210-01 for the record. So, we're talking about assistant program living, known as EBT CalFresh. Well, the racist city here, the Zionist Bob Bloomfield, doesn't want to allow me to use my EBT to buy homeboy industry food. Why is that? Why, Bob? You're sitting there with your hand on your mouth, Bob. Take it off and listen. I have a right to these advocacy programs under the EBT, Bob. And I want my disability report, Bob, regarding my mental health status based on that big fat pumpkin standing next to you, why he alleges that by using multiple names and aliases, that I am in violation of any civil rights. I believe I have a right to use as many names as my mental health allows me, Bob. So as long as I have mental health like the rest of you 15 assholes, I think I have a right to say what I believe. Now, that was item number 16, Pumpkinhead. Are you listening? Should I go to the next one? Well, let's go to the airport. Fucking airport people work so fucking hard, Uncle Tom. And the reason why, Uncle Tom, that's because I'm here in protest on their behalf that the $30 an hour should start now. Right now. Do I have an amen? Yeah! Yeah! $30 starts now. However, Mr. Price, if you would sit down with your 14 indictments and listen, is this. Why do we have to wait to 30 for this pay raise when they need the raise now? Why, Bob? LeBron James has the answer. He takes the Jewish money tree to the extreme. But Bob, what about us, the Zionists? What do we get for it, Bob? Right. No answer, right, Bob? And what about the hotel workers here? Don't they want their $40 an hour now instead of having to bust your fucking room, Bob, so you could take your little prostitutes? Yeah, that's right. Clap, people, because that's what Bob Blumenfield did, who's married to a black woman. And I won't use the C word, Bob, or the N word, Bob, but you know what I'm talking about. Because that was something of interest on Friday's meeting. On May 15, 2026, for the record, Bob. Now
Speaker,
into
we're
my
going to move you to general public comment.
Is it true, Bob, that you're married to a black Zionist woman? I want to know,
Speaker, that is
Bob,
not
for
within the subject
record.
matter jurisdiction
This
of
is
this body,
political
so you need
criticism.
to speak to
Stop
something that was
weaponizing against
in
me,
the subject
lady.
matter jurisdiction of this body.
This is goddamn free speech at its best. And I'm saying it on the record because I know for a fact, and tell me if I'm wrong, isn't Bob married to a black woman? So what? So why can't I use the N and C word in a public meeting while you ban the word N and C? And I won't reiterate it for the record, but you know what it means, Bob. You continue to take my First Amendment privileges of using an N and a C word when you know that NWA stands for a reason. So constitutionally, Bob, and the city of Los Angeles, you are violating our civil rights of restricting and banning the word N and C. So I'm glad to hear that.
Speaker, your time is up.
My name is Brittany Williams, and I am a member of Unite Here Local 11. I work at the Shea Hotel for 3 years, and I'm a constituent of Council Member Tim McOsker. I've showed up through the pandemic, through the wildfire, and even through every hardship this city has faced. And when this industry tried to repeal this wage, I showed up for that too. Los Angeles voters rejected them, and we won, rightfully so. But we are here yet again because you all want to backtrack, want to take away a victory that we have won and fought so hard for. You want to take it away. That is heartbroken, and that is upsetting of all of you all as councilmen and women. What happens next was not negotiation. Corporates threatened the city until the policy cracked. The $30 wage that was supposed to be in the place for the Olympic Games won't arrive from 2030, and we do not accept that. That wage, we deserve that right now, 2026 right now.
Saludos, vengo de la organización de ACE.
Good day. I'm here with the organization ACE.
Hoy estoy aquí porque desde hace 3 años hemos trabajado junto a los trabajadores para que no les reduzcan su sueldo.
I'm here because we've worked with alongside the workers for 3 years so that they would not have their wages reduced.
La organización de ACE ha estado luchando por viviendas justas.
So ACE has been fighting for just living conditions,
Por un sueldo justo.
for a just salary.
Y conocemos bien, hace 8 días, otra vez, la concejal Rodríguez, Padilla, Par y Lee volvieron otra vez a decir, no estoy del lado del pueblo, estoy del lado de las corporaciones y del dinero.
And
No sirvo al pueblo, sirvo al dinero.
We're here because, again, last week, council members Rodriguez, Padilla, Park, and Lee went back on their word. They are not on the side of the people.
Quiero decirles que es muy ridículo que les rebajen el sueldo. Quiero preguntarles a ellos cuánto ganan, si me podían dar una estadística de cuánto ganan y por qué ellos no rebajan su sueldo.
I want to say that this is ridiculous. I want to ask you, how much is your salary? And why don't you reduce your salary?
¿Saben? Y esos 4 quiero decirles, ¿saben cuánto vale la canasta básica? ¿Saben cuánto vale un cilantro?
And I want to ask
¿Cuánto vale
you,
una cebolla?
I want to ask you, do you know how much is a basket of food? How much is cilantro? How much is 1 onion?
¿Saben cuánto valen los chiles?
How much chiles
Okay,
cost?
Speaker, your time is up.
Peppers? Señorito, creo. Is she going to get her general comment?
1 minute.
Todo esto sirve, la canasta básica sirve para alimentar a una familia. Sueldo que ustedes quieren bajar y que no nos va a alcanzar.
So the basic basket costs, but it serves an entire family, and it's something that we need, that all of you don't need to worry about.
Es ridículo, el sueldo que ganan, el 80% es para pagar la renta. ¿De dónde vamos a sacar para una canasta básica si ustedes bajan el sueldo?
It's ridiculous. 80% of our salary goes to rent. So how can we afford to eat? How can we afford to supplement for our families?
Y todavía hay familias que tenemos que pagar aseguranza cuando nuestros hijos también están pagando cientos de dólares en las escuelas porque están privatizadas las universidades.
And also the insurance that we have to pay for our kids and the cost of education for our kids, because most of the higher institutions you have to pay for.
Quiero decirles a los concejales y a los demás que basta, basta.
I want to say to the council members, that's enough.
La cuarta economía más grande que son Los Ángeles lo tienen los trabajadores, lo hacen grande los trabajadores y le pagan sus sueldos a ustedes.
The great economy that is Los Angeles is earned on the backs of the laborers, and we are the ones paying your wages.
Esos trabajadores también tienen muchos problemas con la pérdida de viviendas.
Those workers are also facing the loss of their homes.
Muchas familias que están siendo arrestadas por el ICE.
Many families are being arrested by ICE.
Y ahorita estamos viendo cómo están jugando los que se están yendo para candidatos, están jugando una...
And we're watching those that are running for candidacy.
Pues te había escrito lo que iba a decir, pero ahorita lo voy a decir así nomás de mi pensamiento.
Well, I had actually written down what I was going to say, but now that I think about it, I'm just going to say it out of my own words.
No he desayunado, no he tomado café, dejé a mi casa, dejé a mi familia por venir a apoyar a los trabajadores porque mi esposo es un trabajador.
I haven't had breakfast, I haven't had my coffee, I just left my house and I came here to support my colleagues. My husband is one of these workers.
De seguro ustedes, los que sí tienen billete, los que tienen dinero, sí desayunaron, nos van a traer su lonche.
Surely those of you that do have money, you did have breakfast. You didn't have to bring a lunch with you.
Y vine a estar aquí no solamente por mi familia, por mi comunidad, por los trabajadores de todo California.
And I'm here not just with my family, but with my people and for all of the workers across California.
Tal vez ustedes se ríen de mí porque no tengo un trajecito, no ando peinadita, no todo, pero ya basta, dejen de hacerle al payaso. Esos que pusieron eso en la mesa, déjense de ridiculeces. Y esa silla donde están, háganla valer.
You're here laughing at me, but just because I'm here without a suit doesn't mean I'm dumb. You need to stop playing dumb. Stop being clowns.
No agachen su cabeza, denle la cara al pueblo.
Don't lower your heads, face us.
Tengan los suficientes para enfrentar al pueblo.
Have the courage to face the people.
Y dejen de estar haciendo ricos a los más ricos.
Stop making the rich richer.
My name is David Huerta, president of SEIU USWW. What we won in the spring of 2025 is what we should be celebrating today. Workers fought to lift themselves out of poverty and to get the healthcare needs that they need for themselves and their families. But business decided to hold the city hostage so they can get their way in this negotiation. We recognize that the living wage does set a standard of $30 in healthcare for many workers across the city. But unfortunately, those workers also have to wait now till 2030 for that $30. But I will say this, we will continue to fight forward. We will continue to fight for workers across the city because we know that when workers stand together, right, it's our strength and our power that persevere. And at this moment in time, I want to say this. I want to thank all these workers from Unite HERE who are behind me right now. I want to thank all the USWW workers and both of them standing together. I want to thank SEIU 721. I want to thank AFSCME and all the labor that stood together in this moment. Our fight is not done, and we have 2028 to continue to fight forward on. Thank you.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Laura Esquivel y trabajo en el aeropuerto de Los Ángeles.
Good morning, my name is Laura Esquivel and I work at LAX.
Quiero decirles que cuando ustedes aceptaron el salario olímpico, muchos trabajadores estuvieron muy felices.
I want to say that when you accepted the Olympic salary, many workers were very happy.
Pudieron pagar cuentas, pudieron tener su comida en la mesa, pudieron pagar su renta.
They were able to pay their bills, put food on the table, and pay their rent.
¿Y ahora qué está pasando?
And now what's happening?
Los trabajadores estamos unidos y estamos hartos de la explotación y de que algunas personas del concilio que están aquí y que ya sabemos no estén con el trabajador.
The workers, we are now united, and we're sick and tired of being exploited, while some of you here on the council, and you know who you are.
Supuestamente, la señora Rodríguez nos puede mirar a la cara. Las personas que votaron en contra, ¿por qué no nos miran a la cara? ¿Por qué se agachan?
Supposedly, Ms. Rodriguez, who voted for us, she can
Ella
look, she
dice
can face
que
us,
no
but why can't the
sabemos-
rest of you face us?
Ella dice que no sabemos qué es tener un negocio.
She
¿Y
says
cómo
we
lo
don't
vamos
know
a
what it
tener?
is to have or own a business.
¿Y cómo lo vamos a tener? Si cada día nos aplastan, no nos quieren dar lo que nos pertenece.
But how could we know this? How can we do so when every day you bring us down?
Como dijeron mis compañeros, ellos están sentados en sus casas, mientras nosotros estamos pensando qué es lo que vamos a hacer al día siguiente para poder sobrevivir.
Like my colleague said, you all are seated, it's like you're at home, but we're thinking every single day how we're going to survive.
Sabemos lo que se está presentando hoy y no estamos satisfechos.
We know what is being presented today and we are not satisfied.
Quiero decirles que los trabajadores no estamos vencidos
I want to say that we are not giving up.
y vamos a seguir luchando.
We will continue to fight.
Y aquí nos volveremos a ver en el 2028.
And we'll be back here in 2028.
Ojalá hagan lo justo y piensen en su semejante, no en su bolsillo de ustedes.
I hope you do what's just and right and think about what is right and not in your pockets.
Cuando ustedes se lleven algo en la boca, un alimento, piensen en la gente que le están quitando su salario ahora mismo y que para el día de mañana, ¿qué le van a decir a sus hijos?
I hope that when you put food in your mouth, you think about each and every one of us that you're taking our wages from. And think
Ojalá
about what
tengan
will you
un
tell your
sentido
children
común.
tomorrow. Please have some common sense.
Y así como dijeron que no, véanos a la cara y respondan por sus actos.
And just like you said no, have the courage to face us and to respond to your acts.
Buenos días, miembros del concilio. Mi nombre es Lorena Barrera. Trabajo en Flying Food en el departamento de comida fría.
Good morning, members of the council. My name is Lorena Barrera. I work at Frying Food in the cold food department.
En el 2023, yo salí a huelga por 26 días con mis compañeros para luchar por un mejor sueldo. Actualmente, mi renta es de $2,200 y cada año está subiendo.
In 2023, I went on strike for 26 days to fight for better wages. My rent right now is $2,200, but each day it is going up.
Cada año ha aumentado $200.
Each year it has gone up by $200.
La compañía prepara la comida a los vuelos internacionales.
The company prepares food for international flights.
Están haciendo más dinero que nunca y ahora ustedes les están dando un alivio donde el alivio para nosotros los trabajadores
They're making more money than ever, They are receiving help while here we are asking for help.
Y nosotros estamos esperando su apoyo de ustedes. ¿Dónde está el alivio para los trabajadores? El rico más rico y el pobre más pobre.
We're waiting still for your support. Where is the help and support for the workers? Every day the rich become richer and the poor become poorer.
Okay, good morning, members of the City Council. My name is Jesse Cuevas, and I work at Flying Foods. I am a cook, and I make the food that goes into the international flights that depart from LAX. My coworkers and I see how much money the company's making. I live in Pasadena, and I have 2 kids. I'm a single dad, and it's hard. My commute sometimes takes over an hour. It is shameful that you are giving a relief and bending the knee to these corporations. Where's the relief for the workers like me that are barely making ends meet? Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good morning, council members. My name is Matthew Maldonado, the Executive Director of AFSCME District Council 36. We represent about 10,000 employees here in the city. We're glad to hear the GRT will be considered to be removed from the ballot in November. As we know, the city was gearing up for serious changes in services delivered to Angelenos. We're also gearing up for massive layoffs. We hope to never see this day again, but we know these attacks will continue. However, as witnessed on May 1st, labor showed a united front marching through the streets of this city. Thousands of union members showed up and marched in solidarity. We will continue to fight and stand together during these pressing times. I also want to recognize the union members behind me from Unite HRE, SEIU, USWW, who are here today advocating on these tough issues. They deserve so much more, and we will continue to fight for these workers for better wages and benefits in both private and public sector. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Melissa Doggle, and I am a Unite Here member. I live in City District 13, and I have worked in hospitality for 12 years. The hotels and airlines that fought to gut our wages are official partners of the 2028 Olympics. They will profit enormously from the work of people like me. When the industry tries to repeal this wage, Los Angeles voters rejected them. So they threatened the city budget until the policies cracked. The $30 wage that was supposed to be in place by the Olympic Games won't arrive until 2030. After the tourists go home, after the industry collects every dollar of the Olympic profit. Always remember that it is workers like me and those behind me that welcome the world to this city. Not the lobbyists in suits. Reflect on the voices you listen to. I yield the rest of my time.
Good morning, council members. My name is Eleanor Ramos, and I have been a bartender at LAX for 30 years. Like many LAX workers, I live in Hawthorne. We do not have rent control. I have seen rents double for me and for my neighbors. I have seen people get pushed out and evicted because they simply cannot keep up anymore. That is the reality workers are facing. Rent is up, food is up, gas is up. Everything is more expensive. We are not asking for anything extra. We're asking to be able to survive in the communities where we live and work. When the wage law went into effect in September, it made life a little more affordable. It gave me and my coworkers some breathing room. Now, hearing that the city may take that away is very disturbing. After more than 30 years working at LAX, I should not have to keep fighting just to afford rent.
Thank you.
Please do not lower.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Hi, my name is Jovan Houston. I'm an airport worker at LAX and a member of SEIU, USWW. I just want to take the time out to have a special thanks to Hugo Sotos Martinez, Eunices, Kern Price, Katie Ursosky, and Nithya Raman and Isabel. Thank you for supporting us from day one. Thank you. We do appreciate this, even though the outcome is horrible. This is a hard one for us to swallow. Like I said, I've been down here over 100 weeks of fighting. And yeah, it hurts. It hurts that you'll take back the years of hard work we did, the fast, the hunger strikes, the marches. You took it all away from us. These wages are important to us, and it really hurts. But yeah,
General?
these airlines are crooked, they're greedy. They don't see us as humans, they see us as slaves, and they fight us to the minute. They have billions of dollars to stop our wages, but yet think about feeding us. Think about giving us health care that we so deserve because we breathe in toxic fumes on a daily basis. So yeah, they may have won this fight, but guess what? We're gonna win the war. We will see you in 2028. We will see you in the streets of LAX. We will see you because when we fight, thank you.
I've worked at different jobs at LAX for 7 years. Right now I am working at the Emirates Lounge. I am an attendant there. Workers like me are struggling with the cost of living. Everything has gone up, especially gas, food, and rent. Just those three alone are heavy. Every paycheck gets stretched thinner and thinner. All I want to do is be able to afford my own apartment. I do not think that's too much to ask for. I work hard at one of the busiest airports in the world, but I still have to live with my roommates because I cannot afford to rent a place of my own. When the wage law went into effect in September, we felt like we were getting a little closer to being able to live here in LA and not have to struggle all the time. It gave workers like me hope that we could actually move forward. Now that we're hearing that it could be taken away, it's just wrong. Don't take us backwards. Do not lower our wages because the airlines and hotels are complaining. Please protect the Olympic wage and stand with LAX workers.
Thank you. I, Nina Aro, a citizen of Finland and United States, declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of both countries that the following is true and correct. My mind is clear and sharp. This is not an illusion, delusion, or a psychosis. I'm a victim of international child trafficking and a high-risk whistleblower, and it's a miracle I'm still alive. My entire life, for 39 years, I've been treated as a profit-generating asset by my traffickers, the international organization Freemasons, and Hollywood dynasty Bell family. I've been sexually exploited by severely abused both mentally and psychologically. They have taken away my right to have children, my basic human rights, and isolated me from my whole family and everyone I ever knew. I can no longer accept a reality where Hollywood sacrifices the lives of innocent children for blockbusters, where our government acts as a pimp and drug lord while operating. Okay.
I'm sorry, your time has expired, but can you just wait over there on the left hand, your right hand side of the council chambers, please? Thank you.
All right.
Good morning. You have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Go ahead.
That's right. So let's get to number 16. Finally, Imelda Padilla doing something good. Let's give her a hand. Oh my God. A laundry list of homeless criminal activity. Imelda is going to stop the fires, stopping drug sales, stopping pimps. A shout out, by the way, to all the pimps on Figueroa. No offense. This is the Valley. And it's hard to live in this city without drugs. Everybody gotta have drugs for your back and your knees, drugs for sex, drugs for activities of an active nature. But again, Imelda has decided to go on a path of sobriety in CD6, and we support that. See, when they do a good job, I'm going to tell you when they do a good job.
Hey, you've exhausted your 1 minute on that item.
Yes, dumbass, I know. Now we get over here to the FIFA. What the fuck is FIFA? Can't you spell it on the agenda? It stands for Fraud International Football Assholes, FIFA. Nobody can afford a goddamn ticket. Nobody can afford a goddamn parking space. Nobody can afford a goddamn beer. Well, why the fuck in this city are we hosting this shit? The people aren't going to be involved. What am I going to do? Stand there and go like the old days. When I went down to Buenos Aires and saw it in person. What am I going to go? What do you think? This is Maradona? No, this is bullshit. Get rid of it. Now, let's get to the wage. Back there posted is the lie, the truth. These criminals on this city council are going to give you a little itty bitty 50-cent increase and then another $1, and they're going to stretch it out over 4 years so their criminal buddies after the election can pull it back completely. We need the $30 fucking today, starting on July 1st. Pass the fucking bill. $30 now. You see the price of diesel? Fuck, man, we're running out of goddamn jet fuel because Donald Trump's got the Strait of Hormuz shut down. These people need the money now. Come on, Price. You're going to go to prison probably for 14 years. Give these people their pay increase now before you go up the river.
General.
Now we get to the general. Finally, Hugo does something right. Finally, Hugo, you realize that the demon Nithya ramen noodle is a bad choice for mayor. Let's give him a hand, yeah. Hamburger Hernandez, my mortal enemy, agrees with me. Everybody on this council has one thing in common with me. We all hate Nithya ramen noodle. Raise your hand if you hate Nithya ramen noodle. We all despise her. She lives in a $3 million mansion. She tells us we have to have tents in Encino. We have no street lights. This failure runs for mayor at the last minute. Why? I heard a rumor. They said that Karen Bass was going to get indicted, so that's why she stepped in. Am I right, Noodle? Noodle, noodle, noodle. Vote no on Nithya ramen noodle, the Antichrist.
And
Thank
your time
you.
has expired. Next speaker. 1 minute for
The
General.
Mexican people and the Spanish, they are Hebrew. That's where Abraham come from, the second son of Noah. That's the descendant of the Noah. The Iranian Melchizedek is a Gentile, and the Roman was a Gentile in Hebrew. Look at this map. This America. You see the two big red here? Polynesian, Tongan, and Samoan. The Samoan called their god Takaloa. Sinaloa is the Samoan area. You have two champions. Samoan champion. That also belong to the Sinaloa people. And that's Tongan, Tongva Indian, and there is Tonga there.
Thank you, Speaker. Your time has expired. Next speaker. Next speaker. All right, Mr. Spindler, please do not disrupt this meeting. This is your first and only formal warning. Again, there's no need to shout out. If you do so again, if you disrupt this meeting again, you'll be subject to removal pursuant to Council Rule 7 and Rule 12. Next speaker. Good morning. What would you like to speak to?
16 in public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for each. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Radzianko, and I've had the privilege of calling the Valley home for all of my life. I also organize with and for many of our unhoused residents. I'm providing public comment to oppose Imelda Padilla's resolution to add 26 new 4118 zones to the Valley. 4118 is a violent, cruel, and inhumane law that does absolutely nothing to solve LA's homeless crisis. As I'm sure you're all aware of, it actually exacerbates the crisis as displacements destroy people's important documents like identification, their medications, it disrupts access to services and medical care, and it makes it harder for those to obtain housing, forcing people to scramble to rebuild their lives in perpetuity. 4118 increases policing and displacement while wasting public resources and merely pushes people out of public sight, appeasing only your land-owning, renting constituents. Again, this law is an attempt at aesthetics and does nothing to address LA's homeless crisis. This law only furthers the dehumanization and violence towards our unhoused residents. Public spaces are meant for all of our LA residents, not just housed or those with private property. All this leaves me asking, where do people go? When we don't have adequate shelter or permanent housing options, where do you expect people to go? When I'm sitting here in a room full of people begging you to provide the bare necessity of a living wage, I urge you to choose your humanity and vote no to Councilmember Padilla's proposal to expand 4118 zones throughout CD6.
My name is Nella McCosker. I represent Central City Association, or CCA. I'm going to repeat something that I said last week on this item because I think it bears repeating. The success and vitality of business owners and workers are inextricably linked. And it is possible to ensure that we expand wage and benefits for workers while meeting the moment and realizing the economic realities of hotels empty, closing, laying off people. At CCA, what we've tried to model is that it is very possible for business and labor to partner together on projects and initiatives that increase economic success and opportunity, create thousands of new jobs, and I have seen that make people in this body very uncomfortable. I think it also is very uncomfortable to deal with the reality that legislatively imposing wages and benefits without bringing business to the table is not reasonable. It is reasonable to ask us to partner together, to be on the other side of a table and negotiate, but it is not okay to do so without that process. There are a lot of people to thank, leaders of this council, in getting us to this moment, and I do want to recognize them. I also think we need to recognize labor leaders for doing so. There are many of them to thank, but one of them that I know is here is David Huerta. CCA and other business leaders stood up, stood with him as immigration enforcement actions really impacted workers and businesses and their ability to operate. That is how we should be moving forward together with discomfort, yes, but balance. Thank you for bringing us to this moment, those of you who have done so, and let's move forward in that mindset with an economic situation and workers who deserve that. Thank you.
Next speaker. Next speaker.
First of all, I want to thank all the members of Unite Here, Local 11, and ACIU USWW, who will be the most affected by this amendment, for being here today. And thank you to SEIU 7-1 and AFSCME and other unions that are standing in solidarity with these two workers, with these two unions. I want to let my colleagues know that I will be voting no against 26A, and I will also be voting no on the full item. And I'll say this, I'll be voting no because I cannot support anything that is going to take away money from workers. We passed this law many years ago, sorry, a few months ago. After almost 2 years, it took us almost 2 years after introducing this motion to take a final vote. People struggled, they did hunger fasts, they gave public comment. There were compromises. I guess there weren't enough compromise for some folks, but it was a process that included so many different people. And to be in this place it is sad. It is enraging. It's many emotions that people feel. And you know, there has to be a voice on this council that speaks for the people that struggle to pay their rent, that struggle to save money for college for their kids, that work 2 or 3 jobs, that come home and are too tired to play with their kids. I spent 16 years with Unite Here Local 11. I visited workers in their homes. They share with you their dreams. They tell you the city that they want to live in. And that was represented in the original law that we passed, not this, what's being presented today. And so I will be voting no. I understand the will of the body is not there today. But as Jovan said, right, this is a bitter pill to swallow, but this is not the end. I think both of these unions they know how to struggle, they know how to fight, they know how to organize. And sometimes we do lose. But we come back stronger, we re-strategize, and we move forward, and we keep fighting and keep winning. That is what's built into both of these unions. And I look forward to fighting with you and building the labor movement and growing worker power in the city, even if we are probably going to lose today. But thank you so much for being here.
I think I'm going to need a translator to translate into English because I'm going to say my whole thing in Spanish. Ready? Okay. Yo lamento que tenemos que estar aquí en este día.
I'm sorry that we have to be here today.
Pero a mí nunca me han gustado ni las mentiras,
But I've never liked the lies,
ni las verdades a medias,
nor the half-truths,
ni culpas sin que todos los detalles de los dos lados estén presentes.
nor the blaming without all the details being present on both sides.
Desde un principio,
Since the beginning,
yo le dije a las personas que están en este cuarto hoy y al líder de esta moción desde un principio, a Soto Martínez,
to all the people that are here today present and to Councilmember Soto Martinez,
que este sueldo era una cosa buena y que lo necesitábamos,
that
pero
this salary was good and it was needed, but
que esto no iba a pasar sin que tuviéramos un reporte primero presente.
that it wasn't going to be approved if we didn't have a report first present.
Y luego por fin nos llegó el reporte.
And then we finally received the report.
Y luego empezaron las políticas
And then the politics began.
y la revisa de lo que se nos presentó en el reporte.
And the revision of what was presented in the report.
Y muchas preguntas también surgieron.
And a lot of questions arose.
Y a nadie que hizo preguntas se les dejó
And nobody that was asked questions was allowed to
hacer preguntas. Y el hecho de que no nos dejaron negociar, hacer preguntas, causó que esto se sintiera más como un empuje.
And the fact that we weren't allowed to ask questions, it felt more like a push.
And we weren't allowed to negotiate.
To negotiate, thank you. Or allowed to negotiate. And it felt like a push.
Y ¿saben qué? Muchos lo dijeron. Están en, sí observaron bien. Ahorita los empresarios nos tienen al cuello.
And you know, many of you said it, and the observation was correct. The
business community?
The business community has us by our necks.
Y eso se hubiera evitado.
And that could have been avoided.
Si algunos de este grupo hubieran podido hacer sus preguntas.
If some members of this group would have been allowed to ask questions.
Acuérdense que la primera vez que hicimos el pago mínimo a $15, habían 3 reportes.
Remember the first time that we made the salary to $15? There were 3 reports.
Y alguna persona que hubiera pedido más reportes, más preguntas.
And if someone had asked for more reports or more questions,
nos estaban tratando como las brujas del grupo.
They were treating us like the witches of the group.
Yeah. So por eso,
because of that,
yo les quería decir que no lo tienen mal.
I want to say
Pasó
that
una negociación muy ingrata.
Was passed and that was not fair.
Y por eso, como les digo, no están equivocados, nos tienen al cuello los empresarios.
And that's why I'm saying that they have us by our necks, the business community.
Si esta cosa de los gross tax receipts pasa,
if this thing about the gross tax receipts passes,
no tenemos ciudad.
We don't have a city.
Y ¿saben? Eso es verdad.
And that's true.
Now, I could wait.
Puedo esperar.
So, members of the public.
Miembros del público.
Hold on. Members of the public, we need, all right, we have taken public comment both last week and this week. I understand, or we understand that people feel very strongly about this on both sides, but we need to allow, hold on, we need to allow the members to be able to speak to this item, and we have to be able to conduct the business in this meeting. If we cannot do so, then we will have to start either, one, identifying people who are disrupting this meeting and having them removed, or if it is impossible to identify individuals like it is now, potentially clear the room so that we can conduct city business. So please, we appreciate your patience through this entire process, but please do not disrupt the members while they're speaking to this item. Thank you.
No, yo tengo una reputación de que yo soy muy enfocada en lo que son las cosas de mi área, las que me dieron el trabajo.
So I have a reputation of being known for being hyper-focused in my area and the things that I work for.
Y yo no sé si todos aquí saben, pero en mi área se cerró un hotel. Se cerró el Airtel Hotel.
I don't know if you know, but in my area, a hotel closed. I didn't get the name.
Airtel Hotel en Van Nuys.
Airtel Hotel in Van Nuys.
Se cerró y fue por causa de que no querían negociar sobre los trabajadores del restaurante.
Because they didn't want to negotiate over the employees of the restaurant.
So, no es que un estudio me dijo que los restaurantes necesitan un poquito más de flexibilidad con los restaurantes.
So
yo lo vi.
It's not that a studio told me that the workers need more flexibility in the restaurants. I saw it myself.
So, con eso, lo que yo les quería decir es que ahora mi área no va a tener ni hotel ni restaurantes.
So
lo que
what I want to say is
Ya se
that
cerró.
my area is not going to
Y yo no
have
tengo la
neither a
culpa.
hotel nor a restaurant. It closed, and it's not my fault.
So, eso es una cosa que nomás quiero que sepan que es lo que está en mi conciencia.
So
Por
that's-
falta de la habilidad de negociar, perdí el hotel, perdí el restaurante, so ahora van a ser puros trabajos de aviones.
So that's what I want you to know, that because of the lack of negotiating, we lost the hotel, the restaurant, and now the only industry that's going to be is airplanes.
You know, mi mamá nunca ganó más del pago mínimo, nunca,
My
siempre
mother
puro mínimo.
never earned a higher wage than minimum. It was always minimum.
Y con ropa de segunda, caros usados y mucha disciplina, crió a 5 hijos,
And
4 que fueron a la universidad y uno a la cárcel.
And with clothing from the secondhand store, used shoes, she put us through the university. 4 that went to college, and unfortunately one went to jail.
Ya, qué privilegio hubiera sido que mi mamá, sus empresarios hubieran podido usar el City Council para negociar sus salarios por tener sindicato.
What a privilege would it have been had my mother had the ability to negotiate with the business owners to have a syndicate,
To have a union.
to have a union.
No. So, no estoy diciendo que es una cosa inextraordinaria. Qué bueno que tienen ese privilegio, que su sindicato, en vez de negociar con empresarios directamente, viene acá a City Council.
So I'm just saying that what a gift to be able to negotiate with the business owners, to come here and discuss it with the council.
No, what I said is you're lucky you have a union who negotiates your salary with a City
Thank you.
Council instead of your managers.
Thank you for that. It was quite a bit.
So, privilegio, es una cosa buena, pero una cosa sí les voy a decir.
Privilege, it's a good thing, but one thing I am going to say,
Cuando alguien tiene ese privilegio, dense cuenta que no solamente son 2, 3 personas que
When
están
some-
viendo lo que pasa.
when someone has that privilege, it's not just 2, 3 people that are experiencing what's happening.
Tenemos que responderle a todas las personas involucradas en la conversación.
All right,
We have to respond to all the people that are involved in the conversation.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done talking. I need to tell, and I need to say it in Spanish, porque es la verdad.
Oh, okay.
Es la verdad.
So again, this is the last warning in the group. We're going to have to start identifying people individually. Again, please do not disrupt this meeting, okay?
Todo esto se hubiera podido evitado si desde un principio
all of
se
this
nos
could
hubiera
been-
dado la dignidad de hacer las preguntas como lo hicimos la primera vez de los 15 años.
all
right,
of this
all right.
would have been avoided if we would have had the opportunity to ask the questions with the dignity of the last time.
So we're going to clear the room.
Okay,
Don't take them out.
So-
Don't take them out.
ladies and gentlemen, I can't hear
Don't
what the
kick them
council
out.
president is saying, and he's sitting right behind me. So we are currently unable to conduct city business, and you've been warned multiple times. So please do not disrupt this proceedings.
So, yo voy a votar sí para que agarren su salario porque lo tienen merecido, pero yo nomás tenía que decir que para la otra, mucho de esto se hubiera evitado si hubiéramos aceptado que tenemos que negociar. Negociar es un arte, pero cuando alguien dice o lo que yo quiera o
So-
nada, por eso es que llegamos a este punto donde ustedes se sienten, nos dieron algo y luego nos lo quitaron. Nunca se debería de haber visto dado sin haber de veras, haber negociado lo apropiado. So, el problema fue en esto, la forma en que se hizo.
So
Para
I'm
la
gonna-
otra, piensemos más en la forma, piensen en la forma, porque la forma en que se hizo esto, para la otra, yo no me voy a dejar que me traten como ninguna bruja, porque por eso es que estamos aquí.
So I'm going to vote
Por eso
yes
estamos
because the salaries are
Okay,
well
so
deserved.
para la otra, negociemos y negociemos bien desde un
So
principio
next time, let's
para no tener que estar
negotiate,
haciendo
and let's
esto otra
negotiate
vez.
well.
Tiempo, el que me está diciendo
At
que
the
hay
time
tiempo,
that's telling
yo
me,
logré poder tener este
I was
micrófono
able
y
to
este
have it,
tiempo.
and I achieved being able to have this microphone in this time.
So, les repito,
I repeat,
fue como fue hecho, pero
It
van a ganar
was
su
as it
sueldo
is.
porque bien
but you
merecido.
will get your salary because it's well deserved.
All right, thank you for that, members. Let's open the roll on 26A. Close the roll, tabulate the vote.
11 ayes, 4 noes.
We have seen companies relocate their headquarters to neighboring cities, if not other states.
Okay, so again, you're disrupting the meeting. I see that everybody seems to be exiting at this time, so I'd ask if you are going to leave the meeting, please do so quietly and quickly so we can continue with the meeting. Okay, so I'm going to ask the people in the back of the room, please exit as you're disrupting this meeting, and we need to continue.
Mr. Spindler, if you could take your seat, we'll go back to Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you.
But again, I want to thank, I know these are tough moments and tough votes, and all of us get called on in these roles to do things that are not necessarily what we would choose to do in any given moment, but it's what our roles call on given the circumstances that we're in. And so with that, I don't see any members on the queue. So if there are no members on the queue, I'm going to ask the clerk to open the roll. Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, so Mr. President, before we do that, because the pre-existing ordinance is still on the file, I recommend that there's a motion to adopt the updated ordinance that was brought in today and transmitted May 19th.
All right, so I move that we do what, Mr. City Attorney? Adopt the ordinance dated May 19th, revised ordinance dated May 19th?
Yes, and we'll need a second for that as well.
Seconded by Mr. Lee. Thank you. All right. Can we open the roll on the item now? All right. Let's open the roll on this item, close the roll, tabulate the vote.
Eleven ayes, 4 noes.
Council President, thank you so much. I ask that today's meeting be adjourned in honor of the victims of yesterday's deadly attack at the Islamic Center of San Diego. The 3 men who were killed, community members Nader Awad and Manzoor Kaziha, and security guard Amin Abdullah, who has been hailed for his heroic actions, have all been credited with protecting the children inside the center and the school from the attack. We remember their names today and we honor their lives. And I send my wishes for peace to their families at this time. That this act of violence targeted worshipers and elementary-aged school children near a holy place on the first day of Dhul Hijjah, one of the most sacred times of year in the Islamic calendar, makes this attack especially horrifying. It's an assault on the fundamental right to practice one's faith in peace. No child should ever have to experience fear in a place meant for faith, learning, and community. No parent should ever have to wonder whether a sacred space is safe. No faith leader, teacher, or community leader should be forced to turn a place of worship into a place of emergency. Anti-Muslim hate is rising at an alarming rate both nationally and globally, and such violence must not be normalized. And today I stand with the Muslim community and unequivocally condemn this hateful violence, and I ask that today's meeting be adjourned in the honor of the 3 men who died. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Rahman, and I'd like to be added to that adjourning motion as well. I think that's all council. Thank you for leading us in recognizing this tragedy just down the highway from us, and may we all continue to do the work to make sure people can worship in peace, and that we eventually do something about teenage boys with guns. And with that, we're adjourned. Thank you so much.